it's your first time, welcome back. If it's not, how you been? For this YouTube video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about how to move to Japan. This is going to be one of the most important videos that you will find on YouTube. Let's go ahead and get into it. A little self-introduction as well as talking about my credibility is my name is Angie. Once again, I currently live in Florida, but I had begun the process of moving to Japan throughout different methods, but I had to stop that due to some personal things going on. But I would like to go ahead and relay the information and research that I learned personally for anybody who is currently trying to go through that same process. So the first thing you want to consider is what type of visa you're going to go ahead and get to move to Japan. The type of visa options that you're going to have is working visa, student visa, family visa, and business visas. Those are going to be like the biggest four visas that many people take to go to Japan. A working visa is when a company sponsors you from another country to come in and work for them. But there's no limitations on the amount of hours you can work from what I know so far. And it is one of the best ways to get in, as it secures you a job, it secures you many ways to get your foot in the door when it comes to moving. The second visa option that is available for foreigners will be student visas. Whether you're going to a language school, university, or any other school that sponsors visas for foreign students to come in and learn under them. This one has some limitations though. You're not allowed to work more than 28 hours per week, as well as you have to maintain a certain level of attendance and possibly grades. I'm not 100% sure on the grades part, but I know that you have to maintain a certain level of attendance and make sure you complete the program that you applied into. Family visa is whenever you have any type of lineage of the people within the country that you are trying to apply to. I'm not too sure about that since I am not of Japanese lineage and that is the country that I'm interested in. For business visas, this is just a visa that allows you to go ahead and spread your entrepreneurial opportunities in Japan. This obviously is encouraged because they want to make sure that the local GDP is increased, that there's more job opportunities being created, and that money is coming in because obviously that's helping the economy. So those are going to be the four main ways that you could go ahead and get into Japan, but there's also other ways, entertainment, model, everything. You can get in through many different things, even religious activities. You're able to go ahead and get a visa for that as well. Finding out the category that you want to get your visa in will be the most important one because they may have different methods within getting those type of visas. So with a family visa, I also forgot to mention, it doesn't only limit for people that you're like a descendant from, but obviously if you're getting married to a Japanese national, that will go ahead and count as a family visa because it's going to be a spouse visa obviously. So you just have to know which type of visa you're going to go ahead and get into so that you can receive what majority of the visa applications require, which is a certificate of eligibility. This is basically the most complicated part. It's letting the Japanese embassy know, hey, this person is allowed to apply. Not everyone is eligible to apply, so getting that part makes the visa process a little bit more easier, as it's just the biggest first step. Afterwards, it's just the application and the payment, I believe, which is way more simpler or way faster as well. The certificate of eligibility can take up to 3 months to get, depending on where you're getting it from. And then getting the application process itself separately is a whole nother ballpark. So the biggest part is just knowing which way you're going to get your visa so that when you do get the certificate of eligibility, you can go ahead and go to your local Japanese embassy or whatever and making sure that everything is settled the way you need it to be settled so you can move. So prior to getting your visa, if you're looking to see how you can find a stable accommodation for yourself, you have many options to consider. You need to consider anything that says foreign friendly. What is foreign friendly? Why does that exist? It's basically like getting your foot in the door because many opportunities unfortunately are limited due to the fact that you are coming into the country. So if you want to get an accommodation, I would search foreign friendly just to begin with, just so that you can have your foot in the door and create that credibility of you being a reliable person to come in and have an actual long-term goal that you're trying to fulfill when you move. To find foreign-friendly accommodations, my favorite sites to look through is going to be Gaijinpot, Wagaya Japan, homes.co. I also like looking on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups, e-housing, Oak House, and Sakura House. The difference between all of these places is the type of accommodation that you're honestly looking for. If you want your own solo apartment, then Wagaya, e-housing, homes.com, Gaijinpot, those are all going to be the ones that you can look into. If you're looking for a share house experience, Oak House, Sakura House, Gaijinpa also has those options. Oh, and Tokyo Beta, that's one of my favorite sites to look for share houses, because those are actually really affordable there too. I think it's the most affordable option on that list. These are just options you have. So you could do share house, solo apartment, homestays, anything. You just have to figure out which option is best for you, your budget, and your comfortability, because that's also something you need to take into consideration. Obviously, the price of these apartments will depend on how far you are willing to move out, because Tokyo is an expensive area. The cost of living is the next thing you want to consider. In many countries, the cost of living could be higher, lower, depends on the cost of the goods that you are consistently buying. Whether you're going shopping, whether you're like doing gas because you have a car, transportation, all that stuff. But for Japan, I've always noticed that the cost of living is relatively low compared to America. Like, I can go out and have a great weekend on $100 USD, and in America, I can go ahead and kind of struggle a little bit with $100. So it just depends. Also, considering the exchange rates is also important, because what may be good today may not be the same tomorrow. Like, I believe the current exchange rate is like $1 to 140 yen, but there was a time where $1 equaled like 160 yen, and I was getting $60 to make $100 in Japanese money. So obviously pay attention to currency fluctuations, but the biggest thing you're going to do, obviously, if you're earning in yen as well, is just know to hold yourself to the same standard you would hold yourself in a different country, because the moment you start seeing the Japanese money as like play money, you're also going to kind of destabilize your life. So cost of living, it averages out to about 1,000 to 1,500 USD. Some sources say with rent, some sources say without rent. It honestly depends on what type of area you want to move to know how your cost of living overall can affect this. But that's honestly like the amount that you're going to probably pay through like pension, groceries, electricity, utilities bills, things like that, transportation. So I will give that a great ballpark as that being the money that you spend outside of rent. One of the most important things to me is talking about navigating Japanese culture. The biggest thing is understanding Japanese social norms, because it allows you to understand like what's going on, understanding how to go up the escalator, even though that's not necessary. You could pick that up as a situational awareness thing. And if you don't have situational awareness, maybe you shouldn't be leaving your country just yet. Maybe stay at home for a little bit. But just having that situational awareness, having that understanding that this is how people do things in a certain way, because that is kind of what you're putting yourself into. It may not be the best way. It may not be a way that people want to do things, but that is just the way that it is. Understanding that part will make your experience a lot more better, because you can have that control before you even do move to know if that is the right choice for you or not. So knowing things like people working overtime, the drinking culture, all of these are going to be part of the Japanese social norm. Or even scheduling your friends to hang out, rather than it being like a normal, hey, let's hang out type of thing. The first thing they're going to do is pull out their Google calendars and let you know, hey, I'm not available till 3 weeks from now. So knowing these social norms will obviously make your life a lot more better. Knowing the Japanese language can help. You can pick up either if you choose to learn how to read hiragana, katakana, or kanji, or if you decide to just start picking up on certain words like ohayo gozaimasu, sumimasen, things like that, to kind of keep the ball going on how you're going to maintain communication with people when you are in a foreign country. The next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is the big bad wolf of this whole series. Is talking about getting a bank account and a phone number set up. So for a lot of people, they actually do say like there's a wait period of like 6 months just to ensure that you're actually staying in the country. A lot of people go ahead and have this setup system where they go ahead and purchase some type of data SIM card that has a phone number at like Yodobashi or Big Camera, or even I've seen it at 7-Eleven near Shibuya, literally where they have phone numbers and some data that can allow you to have some type of active phone number plan in Japan, because obviously there's like data plans and then phone numbers that are given so that you can create a bank account, because some banks will not allow you to open an account without a phone number. Okay, so the next part that you're gonna go ahead and look into will be job hunting. Depending on if that's how you're going to get your visa, then this has to be the first thing you do. But if you're going to go ahead and be a student, you know, that's something you can kind of look into later. Nonetheless, at some point you need to go ahead and find a job if you're going to be living within that country, I'd assume. So the resources that I have for you guys today will be Gaijin Pot. They have a job section the same way they have an apartment section, they have a student section, they have a job section that allows you to know that companies are looking for international hires. There's going to also be Jobs in Japan that has the same goal. Another platform that I recently followed is called We Expats. They are on Instagram and they have a website of their own where they basically show like very good information, I personally believe, on what jobs are hiring, the qualifications, but that is only if you are currently living within Japan. So just looking out for those type of resources to help you get a job as well is a great opportunity for you. There's also another opportunity for people who may just be looking for a part-time job. So they usually just say housewives and students are welcome for these types of jobs, and that's going to be one called Arubaito. I'm going to put the website name because I'm not 100% sure if that's the total name of the website, but it's literally just letting you know these are part-time jobs that you can apply to. I also do believe they have a section for full-time jobs, so you can look at those too. But once again, just like We Expats, they're going to be looking for people who are actively living within the country and do not need that current visa sponsorship or have limitations, once again, just like the student visa, since it's going to be a 28-hour work maximum. I would say your best bet is going to Japan with some type of job already lined up for you so that you don't have to spend time with uncertainty on where your paycheck is going to be coming from, especially due to the fact that Japan does have a system where you don't get paid until the month after you work for your first paycheck. So it can be difficult. Just overall, just try to have everything lined up before you do get there. So for final tips and resources, I would like to first preface that you need to download Nerve. You need it. When I was in Japan, there was about 5 earthquakes a day, and regardless of if it was in my area or not, it lets you know before the earthquake is happening that there's an earthquake happening. It lets you know if there's tsunami alerts or anything. The reason you need to download this app is because if you do not purchase a Japanese phone, you will not get those notifications to let you know that these earthquakes are coming or have happened throughout the country. And this is the app that allows people who don't have Japanese phones to kind of stay within the know as well. So that is the first thing you need to do. I don't care who tells you anything otherwise. That is the thing you need to do first. Download Nerve, put in your little prefecture, keep it on your phone. Don't delete it. If you don't got space, delete some photos. Don't delete Nerve. This is not sponsored, but if they want to, they can. It's an overall weather app, but they also tell you about thunderstorms, winds, everything to prepare you for anything that may be weird. Also, like, I know Sakurajima volcano was very active. They tell you about volcano eruptions, air quality, temperatures, everything. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and follow accounts that are going to keep you within the know in Japan. I follow Tokyo Chipo. I really love it because they give you events that are going to be constantly happening, that's going to keep you within the Japanese culture, whether you want to go to festivals, concerts, things like this. It keeps you really, really informed. There's also the Tokyo Weekender. That's a great platform as well. So just finding these type of accounts to figure out what you're going to do with your time. You don't always have to just sit down and wait for a foreign friendly event if they're going to tell you about it, or wait for local events. You could kind of just search for these events and see what type of things you want to surround yourself in and see, just have some fun. Another thing as far as finding events within Japan is using an app called Meetup. That is an app me and my friends used, and I thought it was really fun. I ended up finding my favorite bar through this app, and it's just letting you know things to do in probably all of Japan, but for me it was things to do in Tokyo. If they have different events, it's just use the app, find it, and go. This app basically allows you to VIP or RSVP to go and just mingle with people, have fun. There's a lot of drinking opportunities, networking and socializing activities, just to see what's going on locally around you. It's going to give you a better scope than Tokyo Chipo or even TikTok, because it uses your current location to give you an idea of what is actually happening actively within the environment that you're in and what activities you could go ahead and take part of. Another thing that I wanted to talk about and kind of touch is going to be looking for something called Gai Sappo. So Gai Sappo is literally just Gaijin support or Gaikokujin Sappo, which is just letting them know hey, this is a support system for foreigners within this country. You could look up your prefecture and then Gai Sappo, and that's going to let you know that people are volunteering their time to making sure that you have a pleasant experience when living with a prefecture that you are in as well. I recently seen one for Gifu, and it was really cool to see that people were actually taking the time to make sure that the foreigners around them were having a great experience with the area themselves. I would also recommend joining foreign communities, just allowing you to kind of have some type of support system that you can communicate daily with. So if you're like me, if you're a black girl in Japan, you can look for black girls in Japan, or if you want to be very niche specific and be like, hey, I'm looking for other this demographic of people in Japan, you're able to do. So building that community of your own people is always going to be like perfect, because it's going to give you that sense of home. So you definitely want to go ahead and go on Facebook, look up the communities, see what's going on. Maybe there's activities that you can do together. My last resource and kind of tip would just be go out, hang out with people, meet people. I know that many Japanese people are seen as shy, but there are also many Japanese people who literally have no care in the world and they just want to have fun and meet new people. So going to places like, even like Shibuya, literally, and just meeting up with somebody and saying, hey, what's up? And just building that type of like kind of fearlessness wall, at least, because maybe you are scared, but at least building that wall to let people know, like, hey, or building that front, not wall, to let people know, hey, I'm approachable, I want to be friends with you, and building those type of friendships with people, because those are going to be one of the most important things you need to have, build, and nurture whenever you're in Japan, because you want to have that same support system that you have from foreigners with Japanese nationals, because those can also end up being your best friends for life. Now that we got through this big rambling section, I hope that this information is valuable to you. These are the exact steps that I'm going to be taking for when I do finally make my move to Japan. These are the exact steps that my friends and people that I've known, other creators, that have taken in order to making sure that they feel welcomed, that they're making the right steps, that they're fully prepared, that they can be stable, and that they can do all the due diligence necessary when making a move that big, and just honestly just becoming an expatriate, or whatever they call it, expat, when they're going to a new country. As far as Japan specifically, these rules and kind of regulations and ideas and stuff like that, they're all going to be niche specific or area specific to the area that you do decide to go to. So if you decide to go to Korea, the information may not be the same. That is the biggest disclaimer I do have for you. All this information is also not concrete. This is the stuff that I've done based on my own research, and as far as your research, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're getting as detailed as possible on what you need to do for your specific case, so that you don't feel like you're getting the wrong information from other people. You want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you need when you do begin your own research. If this video was helpful, go ahead and give it a like, a little subscribe, a little comment, interact with me. Let me know how long have you liked Japan? How long have you been interested in moving? Did this video give you any clarification on anything, and what else you would like to see from me? I hope this video was fun for you guys, entertaining, and very informational, because this is literally the steps that I know many people have taken. I'm going to take myself, as I've already rambled on. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.